Hey everybody. So it's still obviously real early on in the season. Some teams haven't even played a game yet. We're only a few days in. But being a Boston fan, this is something I got to experience firsthand on Wednesday night, and saw a lot of this, and I think it's something worth talking about. Please do not overreact to one game early on in the year. Boston lost 7-0 on opening night. They looked atrocious. Absolutely horrendous. A horrendous game against Washington. And the things I was seeing people say after one game were just so ridiculous. The season's over already. Boston sucks this year. They're going to finish last. It's one game. And it's October. Come on, people. Just because you get blown out in one game does not mean that your season is over. You have 81 more games to go. 81 more games. It's 1 out of 82. And you're already calling the season over? Now, obviously, a lot of people were just exaggerating and didn't actually believe that. But calm down. The overreactions were unbelievable. And the overreactions can go the other way too. Teams, if you're a borderline playoff team, or teams that maybe weren't expected to be so good, and then next thing you know, opening night you win 5-1, and everyone's like, "Wow, they're actually good." No, it's one game. It's one game. The overreactions are ridiculous. And it happens all the time. And I saw it firsthand Wednesday night with Boston. Things on Twitter and Facebook were just wrong. It's like Boston is not a bad team because they got blown out in one game, the first game of the season. And then what does Boston do? They come back on Thursday night playing back-to-back games, and they shut out Buffalo 4-0. And everyone's like, "Oh, everything's fine again." Really? Maybe it was a little bit of an overreaction after the Washington game. And then Buffalo was supposed to be, improved this season. They're supposed to be better, a lot better than they have been the last couple of years. Their opening game Thursday night, they get shut out by Boston 4-0. I mean, I don't know, Sabres fans. I haven't really seen anything from Sabres fans as far as if they're overreacting or not. But if you're a Buffalo Sabres fan, don't overreact to the first game of the season. Just because they lost 4-0 to Boston on October 4th doesn't mean that their season's over or that they're not any better than they were. It's one game. So that's just, it's just something I wanted to touch on quickly. Do not overreact to one game, especially in October. The very beginning of the season. Because chances are things are going to work themselves out. And they already did for Boston. They get absolutely crushed in their first game. They come right back out the next night and win 4-0. Everything's back to normal. Everything's fine. Just calm down, especially in October. Don't overreact. Now, obviously, if your team starts getting blown out multiple times, or they play really bad on a consistent basis, it's time to worry. If you come out of October and you only have 3 wins, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. Even the 10-game mark is a pretty good marker of where teams are at, and that's really early on in the season. That's only 1/8 of the season, but the 10-game mark tends to be a pretty good marker of where you're at. If you're in the playoffs at the 10-game mark, a lot of those teams are teams that are in the playoffs come the end of the season. If you're out at the 10-game mark, you can still get back in, but there's a good chunk of teams that don't. So, don't overreact this early on in the year. At least, even at the end of October, if you're only out of it by a few points, you're fine. It's a long season. 82 games is a long season. You don't have to be playing your absolute best hockey in week 1 and 2. You just don't have to. So that's what I've got to say about that. Just there's no need to overreact to early season games, whether they're positive and your team absolutely crushes someone, or they're negative and you guys get blown out. It's going to be fine. The problem will come if it starts happening on a consistent basis and your team starts losing on a consistent basis, because it's hard to play catch up in this league. With overtime losses in the OTL point, it's hard to play catch up in this league. But you have to don't start to worry until you really get behind. Then it's time to worry. But this early on, one loss is not going to kill you. No matter whether it's by 1 or by 7, one loss is not going to kill you. Now come March and April, when maybe you're fighting for a playoff spot and you're only in or out of the playoffs by 1 or 2 points, one loss can kill you. But in October, it's not going to kill you. So that's what I've got on that. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon.